Right, we're talking about Lenovo ThinkPads. This one is a T420.
Yeah, so this is 2011 that it came out. And I guess what's cool about these older machines is that even though they may be slower, you can upgrade them a lot more than newer ones. So like you can actually replace the CPU in this one to get better performance a little bit.
So the stats on this one are?
So currently it has an i5 2nd gen CPU. It's a 2-core processor. It's at like 2.5 gigahertz or something like that. So
Was that original?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
An i5?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So you can put up to like a 3rd gen i7 4-core processor. You don't want to go like you have to with this mind the like power demands and the heating and all that.
Right.
So I guess just keep that in mind with whatever. There's like recommendations and stuff
on how to upgrade it and what.
Yeah, but there are some like going up to some like there's an i7 that could give you like a little bit more performance, and then there's one I saw like in the 3000 series that could give you like a lot more.
Okay, open it up. Let's see what we're looking at.
Well, first, I forgot how to put this back. Is that it? Oh, no, whatever. So on the bottom is where you would start. You can remove the battery and I'm sure change these out for different sizes. And then there's just a little cover here that comes off super easily with one screw, where you have one RAM slot here that can go up to 8 gigs, and then you have on the side you have a, I think they call it mSATA, where you can put like a little SSD in here.
A little one, teeny tiny.
Yeah, I think that's basically all you would do with it. I'm trying to see if it can support other things, but
okay, let's turn it over and talk about the hardware that's in it already. This one, actually, just so you know, I got on Woot because one of the guys from the Robotics Society sent me something that said, "Oh, look, they've got computers," and I thought at the time that I paid $300 for it, but it might have been less. And so what he was pointing out to me is that this one comes with where's the drive, the hard drive?
Oh, so that's actually easy to remove. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came with hard drives before, but this has since been swapped for an SSD. So this is a little cover here. You remove with like a single screw. And then depending, it might be hot swappable. I'm not actually sure if that's the case, which if you're not sure, just hot swappable means you can remove it while it's running. I don't know if that's the case for this, but it's easy to access at least. So all you do is just pull that little tab, and in here you can see there is a 128 gig SSD.
And now you're saying that we can put in how much?
I don't know if there's a limit, but they sell 2 terabyte ones. This are probably the highest you would see for consumer stuff.
So the whole point on this is that this old 2009 machine, 2011 machine, that one's 2009.
It's a T400.
Yeah, but this old 2011 machine,
you can beef it up
to be the new hot thing, except now that one memory slot.
No, there's actually a second. So
you found a second one?
I did. So,
oh, nice.
So pretty much everything with these is replaceable. They sell different keyboards. I think for this line, the T420, they don't sell backlit keyboards, but some of the later ones, people will swap out the keyboard for backlit ones. So the second memory slot is underneath the keyboard right here.
Oh, you're kidding me.
So now you can go up to 16 gig.
Great. So we're going to call this the Frankenstein show. Franken computer show. The old ThinkPads. And I happen to have 2, and there's a 3rd one somewhere else. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool that.
So some of the other things that you may want to upgrade once you got this keyboard off. There is the CPU is underneath here. People will swap out. So this one, I think some of them come with dedicated laptop GPUs. But this one has just integrated with the CPU, so not quite as good, I think. But they sell coolers that are built for both the CPU and GPU.
Oh.
Which will give you better cooling performance.
So you could get a better cooler.
And by getting a better
fan.
cooler, your machine will run better with a better CPU. So people will recommend that if you upgrade the CPU to a certain point, get a better cooler too.
Okay, and so I actually like this idea of at least upgrading one of them, although I don't know that we necessarily need to upgrade all three, but maybe we would because it's kind of fun, or maybe it becomes something else we do. But just so you know, I do have another video that talks about replacing this fan because the fan had broken on one of them.
Okay.
Now, I know it's not any of these, so I know there's at least one more of these hanging around somewhere. The reason is that when I put it back together, the screw, I must have used the wrong screw, so it poked out somewhere. So, anyway, so we call that trophies.
Yeah, so underneath here you got the CPU, which you can, swap for, I think, 2nd and 3rd gen. There's the Wi-Fi card right here. You're a little more limited on space than stuff, so like the ones that we were talking about yesterday wouldn't fit, I think. I haven't looked into what you can swap there. So we talked about the hard drive or the SSD over here. Well, either. We talked about the one that goes on the bottom, but what you can also do, because this one comes with a disk drive, people will remove the disk drive and put an adapter in there to have a 3rd SSD.
Wow.
So that's 3 drives, for up to probably 6 for
so check
3
this
terabytes.
out. So the beautiful thing about this is nobody will really want to steal this machine.
Yeah.
It could be the most souped up machine.
I don't know about most, but yeah. And so there's some other things too. The display. The display is actually really easy to remove. You just take your finger behind.
Oh.
And then you can.
I think I might have had to do that to or I might have done it to do the fan, or maybe I'm thinking about another machine.
So I think the options with this one are more limited than something like the T420P, which is 2 years later. But you can swap out, you just unscrew here, and then 2 below. And you can put a higher res one, probably different screen types too, I'm not sure. But this currently is 768, you can go up to 900p, I think.
Okay, so I think what we have to do next, and maybe today is a good day, or maybe at home later, we can do a performance check, right?
I tried it with Minecraft. So right now it only has 4 gigs of RAM. It's got a dual-core i5. It's okay speed.
Yeah, but sometimes they need to see it, right?
Sure. I got a video if you wanted to include that.
Okay. Oh, you did? Okay, that would be good.
And I have the little graphs on the side. So the memory was maxed out. The CPU is at 60%. I put it on the lowest set. I tried it the default, I think, and then put it to lowest. So the CPU isn't the biggest bottleneck right now. I think it's first the RAM. It was a pretty poor experience though. It was really choppy.
Right. Now if we can get Minecraft going on these, you have much better buy-in from me.
Oh, okay. And then there's more stuff you can do too. So I think they come with docks. What's going on here?
Docks? Oh, you can get a dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually, a lot of these machines, I remember being at work and there was an HP and we'd get a dock. I mean, don't the modern laptops dock? They don't have docking stations
not really.
anymore?
I mean, this is a business laptop, so that's something you're going to find more for business ones, I think. I think there's ports on the bottom for that. I don't know.
Okay.
But also, there's this little thing you can see here, which is called like an express card, I think. And so what people will do with these is you just take this out and you put your express card in there. This doesn't come with USB 3, but like the later ones do.
PCI Express?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not really familiar with it, but people will put like USB 3 adapters in here, which I think is like a little bit more janky. I'm not sure. I think it's something like not.
Yeah,
like,
because this one has what adapters?
They'll also somebody actually talked about putting a
HDMI, because we don't have HDMI in this.
Yeah,
right?
so you have VGA, you have DisplayPort, which DisplayPort's good. That's
oh no, there's HDMI.
Yeah, that's DisplayPort.
That's display.
So DisplayPort's actually like better than HDMI.
Oh.
Which is interesting that they included that though. Not HDMI. But people will also, you can put an external GPU thing and plug it in using this. So that way you can use a full-on desktop GPU.
Wow.
And attach it to that. And I think if you go with the higher end ones.
Franken computer.
Yeah, it can be pretty powerful. Especially for something from 2011.
Yeah.
So.
Which is, by the way, guys, 10 years ago.
Wow. That's true.
10 years ago, wow. Okay, so what are we going to be doing here?
So we're going to be putting Linux on this because this is again, a ThinkPad T420. So from 2011, and Linux has come a long way in user friendliness and application availability, and it still is much more hardware efficient, so should help this run a little more smoothly.
Can we run Minecraft on Linux?
Yeah, you can run, I mean...
Oh yeah, we can, right? Because you can run it on a Raspberry Pi.
Right. Yeah, you can run a lot of games, support for that. You have to do a little bit of work, but support has gone up dramatically, and then same with other programs. So we could go with a different, a lighter weight version distro. I forget, but I always use Mint, and I have Mint already on one of these, so I think that's what we're gonna go with.
How big are these?
So we gotta turn it on first. 8 gigs.
8 gig. Okay.
Yeah, you need something like that to do it. We're not going to go into how to flash the drives, I think, right? It's kind of a separate thing.
That's a separate thing. And then,
but once you get that.
Yeah.
Then
so if we ever use this in a program of some sort, we should just have one handy so that the kids can do it. But I think it'd be good.
It will take a little bit of time.
So this is our Windows startup.
Yeah. So we have two options here. One, we can, because if we go, do they have?
Maybe I should go behind you.
So we can see we have 53 free of 111. Right now we only have a 128 gig drive, but I think one of the upgrades we could do, not essential, not as essential as the other things. We could upgrade the storage. We have 2 other slots. One other that requires no other work. But anyway, we have 2 options. One, we can dual boot. Some people say don't do that, but I've always had it work perfectly fine. Or we could just get rid of Windows. I think probably dual boot is a safer option.
Because if we get rid of Windows and we want to put it back in, then we have to get a new license.
Now that I think of it, it's probably on the bottom.
The Windows license?
Yeah, right here, Windows product key right there.
Yeah, but for what version of Windows?
It's for Windows 7, which is what this is running.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I don't know if you'd be even able to get Windows 7, but yeah, I think it's a good idea
they would have a download,
do dual boot.
You can also just download Windows 10, and I think they don't even check for...
They don't charge?
I mean, I think you could run it like indefinitely without using a product key. I'm not sure.
I thought that was only during the cutover.
I think we should uninstall some...
I don't have a ton of apps on this one, on these.
You're using 50 gigs.
I am.
Or 60, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Let's get rid of this.
Log me in Hamachi. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some network thing.
So actually, this is like our basic set of apps, just so you know.
Do you want all these?
Yeah.
We're not gonna have a lot of space on the Linux one then. I can get rid of log me in.
Yeah, whatever that is, I don't know.
It's for Minecraft usually.
Oh. I mean,
if you want all these, then I can leave them. But Linux, I think, is
you
going
could
to
get rid of Roblox. I don't know who put that on there.
Yeah, I think Linux is going to take up about 30 gigs. That would be another reason to go with the lighter weight one.
Oh, 30 gig. Wow.
Yeah. I could be wrong.
Oh, they had fingerprint data on there? I don't think so. Oh, no, it doesn't take fingerprint data, so it's just that the software lets you, but...
Oh, we need to log in.
Ugh.
So, oh, this supports 5 gigahertz. Your laptop didn't.
Oh, interesting. So, because it was refurbished, I got it off of Woot. Okay.
Oh, that might be it. One of the upgrades.
Well, if we're going to be doing a lot of uninstalling, I should pause the video.
Okay, we'll come back after we're done.
And we're ready to go on with the Mint install.
Yeah.
Ready.
Alright, so we decided to just reset to Windows so that we have it already available. We don't have to reinstall it. But we're going to reset it so that it takes up less space and we have more for Linux. So to do so, one option is that you restart and you just, when it starts turning on, you just hit the F8 key repeatedly and then it'll let you boot into safe mode where you can restart it.
Reset it.
Right, factory reset. So I'm just going to keep hitting F8 and then what we do is we choose repair your computer. There's a couple of ways to do it. You could go into a command prompt, but I think that a little more user-friendly for most people would be repair your computer.
At this point, we have decided that whatever's on there, we don't care about, all the software and whatever.
Right. This will, of course, get rid of all that.
Oh boy.
Can we come in? Oh.
Did you have one of the
That's unfortunate.
thumb drives in there?
Yeah, I thought that Windows 7 auto ejected. I guess maybe not.
Oh, so right now it thinks that it has it.
I don't know. This looks like that didn't work. Okay, so we might need to go with the command prompt option.
Okay.
Log in to see. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna, at least it restarts pretty quickly.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's Windows 7 for you. Even though it's only 4 gigs of RAM. And a 2nd gen Intel processor. 2 cores. Okay, so we'll try the other option. There are guides for this. You might have better luck with repair your computer.
But we're doing safe mode with command prompt.
Yep. So it'll just have us log in, and then it'll bring us to a command prompt page window.
So basically it's going to clear all of the apps that I've installed.
And all the files.
And all the files so that we can have a smaller footprint. And then do we have to do any reconfiguration of the disk?
What we'll do is partition it. The Linux Mint setup will help us through that.
Okay.
It'll be really easy.
Will it move any files around?
No. So you can think of it as like a line. Right now, Windows is taking up that whole line. we want to dedicate part of that line for Linux Mint. And so we can either put Linux Mint on the right or on the left. Now it's going to have us put it on the right, because what that means is Windows fills up left, everything fills up left to right. So Windows allocated this much space, and it's filling up left to right. So this right section is dedicated to Windows, but it's unused. So we can just take some of that and put Linux Mint right there. I see. But if we want to put more space into Mint later, then we would have to remove from Windows, which is easy, but then move everything from Linux to the left, and then put the free space over to the right. So resizing later is a little complicated. Best to try to get it right the first time.
With 128 gig, it's kind of hard.
True, yeah.
But then the other thing, yeah.
And there's not too much to move later. If you have, like, I had to move 500 gigs on mine. On
so I want to ask a question, though, here. By doing this now, I mean, what's the point if we're going to upgrade the hard drive? Just so that you can get going with it? Yeah.
We also may not need to upgrade it.
Oh, okay.
We'll see how much it costs.
Sure.
But we have two options. We can either...
I thought we were making Franken computer.
Well, we're just going to do it again then. Big,
bad computer. It looks like a lowly ThinkPad.
We could. I don't really think 2 terabyte drive is worth it, but...
Well, 1 terabyte is okay.
Even that, I don't really know how much this needs.
That's true, because...
We could just fill up the other drive slot. We don't have to get rid of this one. We could do OS here and then everything else there.
Okay.
I don't know.
You can have one drive, one operating system on each drive then.
Yeah.
That might even be better, right?
Yeah. Yeah, people tend to recommend that over dual booting. They'll say put one on each so that I think it's a little cleaner. Instead of having to like boot to the drive and then choose which OS, it's like you just choose which drive.
Since we are planning on adding storage somehow, right? Because 128 is kind of low.
What
right?
are you doing with it though?
It depends on what it looks like.
Yeah, but 128 is low. It's definitely workable, but for 2 OSs, it is kind of limiting. And it's just kind of limiting overall. So if you
and with the other drive, you could move it from one laptop to the next. What?
What do you mean what? What are you doing? Okay, so what do you want to do?
That's supposed to make me sound smart.
I don't think that's the thing you're communicating.
Okay.
Do you want to just put Linux on here, or do you want to do a boot?
I don't want to just put Linux on there. So then, if those are the options, dual boot it is.
We could also do Linux on just a tiny bit, not reset Windows, and then later just move Linux to the other drive.
And the reason you need Linux is why?
To test it out. Sorry about that.
Okay. You just want to test it out.
Yeah, see how it performs. And Linux is lighter, so if we can run on Linux, I think it'd be better.
Did you apologize because of the phone?
Yes. I'm sure everybody is deeply disturbed based on your impeccable track record of quality.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Go ahead.
Reset Windows?
No.
No?
Dual.
Well, reset Windows and dual boot?
Yes.
Or leave Windows and dual boot?
Reset Windows and
reset
dual
Windows.
boot.
Okay,
yeah.
So to proceed with resetting Windows...
That was complicated.
We type rstrui.exe. I'm assuming that means restore UI.
Okay, that sounds right.
We hit enter. And then... we don't have any restore points. Can we not just skip past? Wow, this whole thing might have been useless.
What?
Well, because we don't want to restore, we want to
reset.
Reinstall. I think we might need a drive or something to reinstall. A drive or a CD.
All right, then just put Linux on.
We can still dual boot, or we could just wipe it.
Oh, dual boot.
You sure?
No, I don't want to ask me all these questions. Do whatever you want.
Well,
just tell me what you're doing.
Okay.
Huh?
I said boy. I don't know how to do it immediately, but we're gonna.
You want me to shut it off a bit?
So to restart, shut down /R.
Okay.
That'll take a minute.
Okay, turn off.
So I'm just checking to see how much storage we freed up. We were at like 57 free, so we freed up
quite a bit.
What's that, 9 gigs?
Oh, not quite a bit. Something.
Yeah, I mean percentage-wise, it's definitely
so this
substantial.
drive is not very big. So we definitely, I mean, it's barely enough for a student, but it is enough for a student.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
So what now?
We can work with the 60 gigs we have.
Okay. Yes, so what we decided we were going to do is if we were going to upgrade the storage, we would do it later.
Right, we're going to work on the performance ones first, RAM, CPU.
And why do we need to install Linux now?
Because I want to test it out and see its performance, and then also have it ready for when we start getting stuff.
Okay, so now what are you going to do? You're going to dual boot with Linux?
It's up to you if you want to dual boot or wipe it. Are you going to want Windows 7, or are you going to want a different version? Are you going to want to reset Windows 7? Because the only reason to keep this is if you want this exact version of Windows 7 with everything here.
All right, so I prefer Windows 10 because that's what I'm using on my other platform.
Struggle a little more. It might do fine.
Well, so we're upgrading the processor, right?
We're upgrading the processor and the RAM.
Yeah, so theoretically, we should be able to run Windows 10.
Yeah, I think it might have maybe some issues, depending on some of the hardware.
But if we get rid of this version of Windows and we want to use Windows 7 again,
we can always reinstall it.
From where?
We just put Windows. Let's pull up. I'll pull up Chrome. You should be able to create a bootable flash drive.
Okay.
Let's see. Windows 7 ISO drive. See. It looks like Microsoft on the website has a guide. Yeah, so it looks like it's still possible.
Okay, it's still available.
The USB, yeah. You can make sure if you want first. Oh, I guess not.
No longer available. Yeah, because of the age of the computer, we have to be careful.
True.
You hear what the pit said? The armpit. Yeah, it actually is in the direction of my armpit. Consider imaging the drive. That's a good idea. Do you know how to do that?
So it looks like we might need an actual DVD now, unless we wanted to find the ISO from some other place on the internet that is still releasing it.
Okay.
So maybe let's dual boot then.
Okay, I'm good for that. I think that's the best way to do it.
You said remove the other programs though?
Yeah, you can remove any programs that are on it because I can always get them back.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that first. Should I shut off?
You know, I'll just work with what we've got.
Okay. And then we can do all that cleanup later.
And do it again.
Okay.
Um,
You just want to get some testing done.
I just want to stop talking about it and start doing something.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we don't know which of these two drives it is. We're gonna plug one in. Looks like Windows doesn't support the format of it, so we're just gonna restart and try to boot to it, and then
see if that works.
Yeah.
Huh.
So different computers will have different keys you have to press in order to boot to a flash drive from a flash drive. Usually it's like F8, 10, 12, delete, something like that. So one of the F keys or delete probably. Just hammer away at them until...
choose an operating system to start.
This doesn't look like what we want. We can try F8, see if that works. No, okay. So, can we restart? Just do start Windows normally, and then we can restart again.
Okay.
I think I saw it say press the ThinkVantage button for this. I don't really know.
Okay, the ThinkVantage button is this one.
Yeah, but that's gonna be pretty, specific to the ThinkPad.
He wants to boot from the thumb drive.
Oh, so you want the boot menu, like a. But if you get to the
Yeah,
BIOS,
I got
it'll
it.
tell us.
Okay, ThinkVantage. Oh, we missed it. This happens.
You have to go.
I just gotta press it in time. Alright, take 3. Yeah, once it's time. Okay.
There we go.
One of the following keys to continue. So BIOS setup, temporary startup device.
F12.
Let's try that. Okay, here we go. This is the boot menu. This is what we want.
The USB 2.0.
So this Samsung one is the SSD we're using.
Okay.
The USB hard drive, that's this.
IBA PCI LAN.
We don't want to boot from the DVD. And this, I have no idea what that is. Let's try it. It's like a network thing. I don't really know. Maybe it's something that's not being used yet. Okay, so we're gonna try to boot to this. I think one of these is Ubuntu server, and the other one is Linux Mint. So we will see.
We will see. We will see. Not working.
I think it might just take a little time.
Oh, arm hurting. Should I take a break?
We could. Some text will probably flash, and then it'll have a menu.
Okay.
So we'll resume there. Okay, so we found out it was the other drive. The other one was just sitting. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. We're gonna restart it. Remembering from last time, F12 is the actual button to press if you want to go to the boot. Oh, we missed it. All right. If you want to go to the boot menu. Alright, let's try again. There we go. We're going to boot to the hard drive, the USB drive. And here we are. So with Linux,
Welcome to Linux Mint 20 Cinnamon 64-bit.
yeah. So Linux Mint 20 is the version. Cinnamon is the desktop. With Linux, you can do different desktops, but have the same operating system. So with Linux, you can also boot from. You can like run it while it's running from the flash drive, which is cool because it's lightweight.
You can just run the whole thing from the drive. Okay.
So what we want to do
Now
is...
I could use that same drive in my...
And boot into it, yeah.
Any of my computers.
If you wanted to run something like that. It's gonna probably erase it, but...
Erase what?
Erase whatever you do. Maybe it won't. I don't really know.
That would be something for me to understand.
What do you mean?
Where's my work?
Yeah. How to save files when you're running from a thumb drive.
Again, maybe it does, but you're limited. If so, the alternative would be to connect to the
I did
internet.
have some peculiar experiences with Linux Mint before, with Linux installs before. Something like that. So, that's why I'm
Pretty
asking.
smooth now.
Okay, so now what?
So I chose to boot into Linux Mint, so you get to get a feel of it now.
Okay.
And then if you're ready to install, there's a little application here. I don't know if you want to test it out or anything.
No, go ahead and install it.
Alright, we can also run it and use it while it's installing.
I guess I'm going to be making videos on how to use Linux, how to use the Mac, and maybe I'll make some videos on how to use Windows.
Let me log into the Wi-Fi.
So you have to log into the Wi-Fi. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you don't need it, but it's better because you can get like drivers and stuff like that.
Okay.
You choose English. We're gonna go with US layout. Multimedia codecs. Let's leave that. We can get it later if we want. Just to play videos. It's alright.
I would have said yes.
I'm sure it'll have the basic ones. If you want something more obscure, I don't think it'll be too hard to get.
I just hate to get errors when I'm doing stuff.
With Linux?
With anything.
To install stuff?
Yeah.
You just gotta open up command prompt, run a single line, and there you go. So here we go. We have a few options. We can have it do it partition for us, which is what I would recommend, easiest to do. Or you can erase and just do Linux if you would prefer. Or if you do something else, then come on.
You can do your own partition management.
Yeah, but we're not going to go with that.
Okay.
There we go.
So we'll let Mint do our partitioning.
So here we go. We get to choose how much space we want to take up. We can take up as much as 70, I guess. Or as little as 11. So I guess it's 11 gigs, not 30.
And then when it writes files, it'll write it to the Linux partition.
Yeah, so it'll just remove whatever's over here from Windows, and then this is what it will take up.
So let's give it more space.
Right. So I'd probably like, what, 35?
Yeah, sure.
So that would leave another 30 for you still? On Windows?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then anyway, we're getting rid of some of those things too. And then it's enough for you to do... How much space does Linux Mint itself take up?
Well, the minimum it lets me do is 11 gigs.
So it needs 11 gigs to...
So probably, 12 gigs.
Okay. Yeah, 35 sounds good.
37.8.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I'm using the track point. Okay.
I'm still on
So, there you go. So it says 2 smaller partitions are hidden. Which I think is like Windows OS stuff.
Continue. How long does this take?
The whole process, I mean, depends on your hardware, but could be as low as like half an hour, could be as long as a few.
Okay, so stop the
probably guess.
recording.
Let's wait for it to start going. You'll see when. I don't know what it's doing right now, but...
An error occurred. Ooh.
Okay, sometimes you might... Yeah, I think people do get issues. So it looks like... Is it wanting us to do it ourselves now? Okay. So it looks like it had an issue doing the auto resize. So we can either... we could try this. I'll see what it says. We can either go into Windows and try to restrict the partition, create one there, and then boot in here and then just take advantage of that.
Okay.
Which is probably the better option.
Yeah, so probably what's happening, I imagine, is that the physical drive, the data on the physical drive is all spread out and they can't partition it.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be it. Or maybe it just has an issue with, like, knowing what's... Okay, I don't really know. Anyway, I quit the install. I'm going to restart it and go into Windows and...
Do the partition there.
Yeah, and then we'll just fill up that in Linux.
Okay.
Alright, so to partition it, looks like what we want to do is, if we just type in partition, it'll bring us to this. Here we go. So what we want to take from is this one. This 111 gig one.
Oh, these were the two hidden partitions, right?
Right, yeah, for Windows. So we can... Shrink volume. CHKDSK. Okay, that might have been related to Mint trying to shrink. I don't know. CHKDSK. Is that... There we go. Let's see. Did that... Do I have to do a run? Let's try it again. I don't know.
Do command prompt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so we need to do administrator mode. That's probably the issue. Sort of like do that. No. Alright. So I'll just right click run as administrator. There we go. CHK DSK. Type of the file system into.
Oh, what's this?
Cannot continue in read only mode.
Segments, orphans. Yeah, why does it think it's in read only?
Maybe a parameter. Let's see if there's a option. Okay.
Do the fix.
Okay, good idea.
By another process.
Let's try yes. And then we can...
Restart it.
Oh, that's what I skipped when it was restarting.
Oh.
So I'll just say yes this time.
Okay.
Okay, so we just wait for this.
Oh yeah, definitely we wanted to do that. Okay, I'm gonna pause.
Okay. So the thing completed. Didn't check what it looked like when it was done. But we're gonna try again. See how it goes. Hopefully it works. Otherwise, whoops. I guess I don't know.
Otherwise, install Linux Mint.
Wipe it.
Yeah.
Just put Windows 10.
Otherwise, it's a Linux volume. Linux computer. But don't say it too loud, because Linux might hear.
Because who?
Linux might hear. How long do we think this will take?
Less time than it is.
Shall I pause?
I guess.
All right. Go ahead.
So we can now see that we can shrink it. Does it not let me go higher? What the heck? Oh, we need to defrag first. So you're right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's
Okay.
try defrag first.
Well, that'll take a while.
Maybe. It's small. It's on an SSD.